thanks for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
to
me.
see you. I really appreciate your support coming into us today and talking about being a contractor and contracting in Ireland, as we have our new report launching this summer. So it's great to have your input on contracting, what it's like. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, hi, my name is Olaf, and I live in Ireland for 25 years. I work within the IT industry and corporate environment for 20 years, almost 20 years. I have been contracting before, having my own company and working B2B in the field of translation and work with state agencies for years. After that, started working in the corporate world, got a job, first 1 month contract, which turned into permanent role, which was an interesting engagement into a corporate world. A great introduction and great formative years for my career. Um, that's all.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit about how you got into IT? How did you start?
Yes. Well, I can only blame my grandfather and expectations of my family. And they wanted me to be a doctor, follow the family. Another part of my family wanted to make me to be a doctor, follow that. And I wanted to be archaeologist at the time, so the two things didn't really square up. And my grandfather was very much into computers as well in 1980s, early 80s, and my adventure with the computers and what we later learn as IT, yeah, become something an escape close for me.
Olaf, if you can tell me what it's like from moving from permanent to the contracting world and what that's like and challenges and positives within moving from permanent to contracting, in your opinion.
Okay, well, that's a good question. Um, First of all, I would like to put that contracting is not for everyone. It bears a lot of responsibility on you as individual, on development of a brand, of creating your name and developing it across the business. It's not an easy transition as well. It may sometimes simple, but you need to be resilient to be able to weather any risks that may come from contracting, because you are your own master and commander. You drive your ship wherever you want, and that's a lot of responsibility for a lot of people. For some people, it's maybe too much to even handle that responsibility, and they find comfort working in the permanent roles because it creates the feeling that permanent role is more permanent and more stable. Unfortunately, we're living in today's society that companies like to offload their liabilities from HR perspective, from a cost perspective, and that creates opportunity for contractors to come in and solve specific problems that the company would like to identify, analyze, and develop solution to. Now, contracting offers that opportunity to go in to a new company, meet the people, understand and analyze the environment, understand environmental variables that contribute to perception of the problem, and then you assist in development of the solution and implementation. And then you can go to a training phase where you pass on that knowledge of that solution to a permanent staff that manages this solution long term. And that's, for some people, is rewarding, and they like to operate like this. I know I do find some comfort because it allows me to go and see how the other side does and manage their issues they encounter in their companies. And they are very often similar issues, but the environment is different. Deliverables are different. Objectives are sometimes different, although they are similar. And solutions will be very different. The tool sets also. So any person going into that environment of contracting needs to own up to their own skill set, to their own responsibility, to put in whatever it takes to actually adapt to new environment. and then apply all the tools that they learned from the previous jobs to get best perception of the challenges. The perks, a lot of people think more money as compared to, let's say, permanent staff. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. It's down to negotiation skills, your understanding of the market, ability to place yourself in the market and market yourself to that market. Luckily, I would say, we've got other agencies that do help to market you, to find you, be the intermediary between the company organization, and in a sense promote your brand. So that's a good environment. You're not entirely on your own, but I suppose there are also drawbacks where there are risks, and as I mentioned earlier, those risks have to be mitigated and managed, and you need to be resilient, adaptable, and prepare for a period where things do not go the way you would expect. And also the contract not always turns out to be exactly what was written on the box. And then you make your own decision because you're the master and commander of your own ship.
And you're also steering a ship. You're going in and helping steer that ship, and you're guiding that ship with other permanent employees. And you're, like you said, you're giving that knowledge that you have. You're transferring that knowledge and your skills. And the other thing would be, you can choose those projects. You have the options of what's out there. You're not stuck in one place.
Absolutely.
You can choose the projects that excite you. If there's transformational projects, and you can go in and learn from that, but also transfer your knowledge and make a real impact. That they've taken you on because there's a deadline, that something needs to be met. They really need that help. So it's very solution focused.
Solution driven, yes.
And then also, you can choose between projects if you want to take that bit more time off. If travel is something you like, so you can have that bigger gap before your next project. So that's another advantage to it. It's not just
the only thing I have to say that it may sound great when the environment. Let's say I have children, so now to get in the airplane and fly somewhere, it's a different set of costs. Granted, you're in a little bit more money, fine, but you have the costs that you need to meet that help you facilitate, let's say, traveling somewhere. But then again, if you go on holiday, one drawback to the contracting is you're actually not earning money most of the time at that point. So holidays can cost you double, nearly. So I would like to put that as a caveat. That's one of the things that you need to consider, manage, and, as I said, build certain resilience, financial and psychological resilience to and plan ahead to be able to kind of accommodate that. And that's where you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah, captain of your ship.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you say to people considering moving from perm into contract work? What would you say to them?
If you're considering this, if this idea came across your mind, or you hope to become a contractor, just do it. Try. Just go. Because nothing will give you that experience than just experiencing it. You may find out that it's not something you like. There could be some issues that it doesn't work for you, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. But then again, you may discover that's exactly what you like. That's what you always wanted to have, that certain flexibility in terms of time management, in terms of your deliverables, in terms of how you engage with the business, and your flexibility associated with that, the choices you can make and the rewards you gain were actually you contributing to decision-making processes within the organization that do make a difference. So I would say, don't just think. If you feel like it, try. It's sometimes not easy to get into it because you need to develop certain credentials. Again, develop your brand, I would say, certain name, and that is represented by your CV, and very often that's experience gain in permanent roles that open up these doors for you.
Great. And what would you say, we might be sort of going over this again, what would be top tips you would have for being a contractor?
Well, got to be resilient. Things not always go the way you think they would go, and then you need to be adaptable to adapt to it. Adaptability is another, again, repeat myself, at risk of repeating myself, adaptable. You need to be adaptable to be able to accommodate any new environment you get into it. If you've got a 3 months, 6 months, 1 month to get to know the environment, the issue, the social dynamic in there, and offer some tangible solutions, well, that requires focus, speed of thought, ability to adapt, ability to communicate, and produce something tangible and effective results. And this could be surprising to even the sponsors of the project or the people who sought your services as a contractor. The results may not be what they expect, and that's technically your job to kind of highlight this and say, okay, yeah, you won't like it, but this is what it is, or yeah, look, you were spot on, and I can confirm where you were putting your finger on it is indeed what I came to conclusion to say.
Okay. And I might be going a bit off topic here, but something came to mind, and I was thinking we haven't really spoken about length of contracts, and sometimes they could be 3 months, sometimes they could be 6 months, sometimes 12 months. And is there a certain freedom with knowing, okay, I'm on a 6 month contract. Do I want, if this is going to do, I want to stay here to have renew this? So you don't feel maybe you're stuck. You feel like, okay, I know it's going to come up in 6 months. So I might decide, yeah, let's do another 6 months, or no, I'm going to see what else is out there and start looking. Is there freedom to that?
Well, it is a lot of freedom. The idea is that, let's say, you can start a contract, you've got a 3 months initial contract, let's say. The money are good, the contract terms seem conducive to your expectations, so you engage with this. Now, you see that the relationship may not be working, or this contract, or this environment is not conducive to what you were expected to have. Being engaged. Now, my approach is I like to, I kind of feel obliged that I will deliver on my contract side. I will, if there is something else happening in the other place, it's my freedom to go and look for it, or engage with agencies to say, okay, I'm on the market, I'm looking forward to something new. And then, that's your freedom to do it with 6 months, 3 months, whatever. I personally try to kind of get my contract finished, because it's also part of my brand that I'm reliable. I'm reliable in front of myself, and I'm reliable towards the potential employer, where everybody is equitably agreed to something. So I value that. Generally myself, and try to work within that framework. But yes, absolutely, you can change contract. You can always, there's always exit clause. You're operating on a business to business relationship agreements. So yes, absolutely, you can hands down just leave the keys to the enterprise back and say, I'm flying away. Sorry, thanks, on my ship.
Yeah. And another thing we haven't spoken about, just has come to mind, is that a lot of the time with contracting, you go in a lot quicker, so you get a role, you can start pretty much straight away. Whereas with permanent work, it can take a while for even that company, as much as they might want to get you in as fast as possible. There can be a lot more paperwork to get through and process to get through, and onboarding. Whereas with contracting, you get the offer, you can be up
48 hours, more or less.
exactly. So
there's
there's a speed with it, and that can be its own advantage as well. If you are looking for something, and it can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said, within 48 hours. So
well, contracting offers that exactly what you said. You've got flexibility. You can get in, start quickly. I just can say from my experience, many moons ago, about a little bit less than 20, um, I had an opportunity to work for 1 month contract with a company called HP. Um, I graduated with bachelor's in computer sciences, maybe 6 years earlier, but never worked in a large company. I had my own company doing other services, and when I started working with the HP, they just gave me a 1 month contract saying, okay, we don't know this guy, who is this, we'll see. We give him a chance, he passed the exams and tests, so great. But then this turns out that I was able to step into the role that was developing over there. I was part of a great team that was just forming and developing new services. And it was a very good formative experience for me. And the company turned around and said, okay, Olaf, they gave me an opportunity to go permanent. Now, I hit the ground running. We managed to develop a great service and successful solution for HP and General Motors. And as a result, I felt very strong. I was like, wow, that's me. I'm going to be the next best contractor in the world. But then again, the reality hits after a while that in the end, you have a good start, you may get to an amazing job, but you still have to build up your kind of years of experience, build up your CV, and basically build up your experience working within different organizations. And that, I think, is one thing that helped me to open the doors to contracting, at least at the level I would accommodate it, rather than what I was, rather than when I was maybe 20 years, earlier, feeling that I'm so amazing.
Thank you, Olaf, for coming in and having a chat with me and sharing your wisdom and insights into contracting.
I don't know if it's a wisdom, but
it's been a pleasure to work with you, and continued success. Thank you
very much.
That's all. Thank you. Thanks, Olaf.